Professor R.K. Mishra, Dean Professor S.S. Murthy, Registrar Ms. J. Kirunmai, course coordinators, my esteemed colleagues, students, parents, and media friends. How wonderful it is that nobody needs to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. So is the new class of 2017-19. Your time begins now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A very warm welcome to the inaugural session of the PGP programs class 2017 and 19.
I, Dr. Shaheen,
and I, Dr. Prarthna Kumar, are invited here to be the MC today, and we are honored and happy to be a part of such eventful celebration.
This day is much awaited in every student's life as it gives them the opportunity to plunge into a new academic endeavor. It gives a sense of achievement and a sense of responsibility towards fulfilling their further commitments.
We invite our dynamic and vibrant director, Professor R.K. Mishra, our beloved Dean, Professor S.S. Murthy, our energetic registrar, Kirunmai Madam, and the vivacious fraternity to please come on the dais. Can we have an applaud, please? Spending time with God through prayer and His Word is a prerequisite for having a great life and fulfilling your purpose. May we all rise for the prayer, please.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटे समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटे समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटे समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
Prosperity and abundance. It brings brightness and it destroys the darkness. We request the dignitaries on the dais to please do the lighting.
Shubham karoti kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada shatru buddhi vinashaya deepa jyotir namostute. The meaning is, I fold my hands before the light that brings prosperity, auspiciousness, good health, abundance of wealth, and destroys darkness.
something about IPE now. IPE is what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act here, but it's a habit for us. Every time we have had clarity of thought and true efforts behind its execution, IPE showed it can deliver. IPE is one of the premier laboratories for management world, and the world is our market. Executives are constrained not by resources, but by their imagination. And we do not limit your imaginations here. The bottom line of our orientation is, one must imagine a different world if you want to build a different world. We value our intellectual and young capital, nurture it through perfect blend of traditional as well as contemporary ways and means for a comprehensive development of the student's personality. The big challenge we attempt for humanity here is to get everybody, not just the elite or certain sect of people, to be a part of globalization and avail the benefits. Thus, we ensure that every year the society at large is benefited with well-equipped professionals who are significantly contributing to the value process.
May we request Manta sir to come on to the dais? Empowerment isn't a buzzword among leadership gurus. It's a proven technique used at IPE where leaders give their teams the appropriate training, tools, recourse, and guidance to succeed. Education is not a tool for development of individual, community, or the nation. It is the foundation for our future. It is empowerment to make choices and emboldens the youth to chase their dreams. IPE trains you here to identify new opportunities by focusing on the weak signals. We believe in training you to rewrite the meaning of manufacturing quality with intelligent components.
The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does greatest things, but also the one who motivates and molds the faculty and students to do great things. One such leader and administrator who has molded and who has been molded by none other than our director, Professor R.K. Mishra, and who continues to implement the same to realize the set goals and visions of the director and the institute, is none other than our very own and the most sought after and approachable Professor Srinivas Murthy, Dean, Institute of Public Enterprise.
Professor S.S. Murthy, Dean at IPE, is Professor of Finance and the Chairman of Placements Division. He holds a UGC JRF for his doctorate degree from University of Madras. He has over 2 decades of teaching, research, training, and consultancy experience. He is a visiting faculty to IIM Kozhikode, IIM Indore, NIT Warangal, IIIF, JNTU, Angaru, and many other universities. He has done consultancy assignments for the World Bank, ADP, Ministry of Rural Development, GOI, Government of India, and many state-level enterprises. He has authored and published copious books and articles. His areas of interest include corporate finance, project appraisal, and financial services. Shall we invite Professor S.S. Murthy, Dean, Institute of Public Enterprise, to deliver the welcome address with a round of applause.
We request Madhu to please welcome sir with a bouquet. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shaheen, Dr. Prarthana. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om. Respected Director, Professor R.K. Mishra ji, respected and esteemed faculty colleagues, registrar, staff, and parents and beloved students. A warm welcome to this orientation program, two-day orientation program for the batch of 2017-19. Nice to have all of you in this new auditorium with the efforts of our FAO, Mr. Pani, Registrar and Director, and Sujana and Ganesh and all the people, we are able to sit here. Please give a big round of applause to them. Formally, auditorium will start functioning from August, September. We have started using from today onwards. Then coming to the Institute of Public Enterprise, most of you might be knowing it was started in the year 1964. One of the oldest institutions doing yeoman service for the cause of public sector enterprises in the country. The research work done by the faculty has been widely quoted in parliamentary reports and various committees formed by the central government, and IPE has been extending support to all the SLPEs and state governments on various aspects of privatization, disinvestment, restructuring, everything. So before I actually say a few words, let me briefly introduce our team IPE. I'm very fortunate to introduce our team IPE. First of all, our head of family, Professor R.K. Mishra ji. He is an embodiment of energy and compassion, because of whose efforts the institute has come to this stage. And a formal introduction about Mishra ji will be also given by my colleagues. And we have to left to him Professor Narendranath Menon. He is Professor of Management. He is the coordinator for PGDM program. And to his left is Professor M.L.N. Rao. He is Professor of Marketing and Control of Examinations. And next to him is Professor Anjiraju. He is Professor of Management and he is the coordinator for Student Affairs. And to the right of our Director Mishra ji is Professor J. Kiranmayi. She is Professor of Finance and coordinator for PGDM BIF, and she is also Registrar for the Institute. Next to her is Professor Kiranmayi, Professor of Marketing, and she is the coordinator for PGDM RM, and she is the coordinator for placements as well. And we have next to her Professor Sulagna Sarkar, Professor of OB, and she is the coordinator for PGDM HR. And we have Dr. Karthik, Professor of International Business, and he is the coordinator for PGDM International Business course. And we have Professor Sai Sailaja, Professor of Economics, and she is the head of admissions at the institute. And we have Professor Satish Kumar, Professor of QT and War, and he is our coordinator training. And we have Professor S.S. Mantha. He was former CMD of BDL, and he is actually heading our Industry Institute interface in the institute. He is also Professor of OR and Production Management. And we have Professor Shaheen here comparing this program. She is Professor of QT, OR, and she is actually doing a lot of work on business analytics. And we have Dr. Prarthana Kumar, Professor of Marketing. She is also our proud alumni of PGDM program, and she is also coordinator for Executive PGDM. Now we have Professor Lakshmi Kumari. She is Professor of Economics, and she is actually head of Knowledge Resource Center, where we find in the ground floor library and various publications of IPE. Then we have Professor Janaki Krishna. She is our Professor of Management, and she is also head of our accreditations, rankings on AICT related matters. And we have Professor Mahesh, Professor of Marketing, and he is the joint coordinator placements. And we have Professor Rajesh, Professor of Economics, and is also heading a center for regulatory affairs. Professor Vivek, Professor of HR and Management, and he is joint controller of placements. And we have Pragna Acharya, youngest of the faculty, or youngest of alumni, Professor of Management. And we have Professor Deepthi Sharma, Professor of Management, and she's also warden for the girls' hostel. And we have Professor Sandeep, Professor Sandeep, a Professor of Economics. He was with CDS Trivandrum. He recently joined. Professor Srikanth, Professor of Marketing, and he is the coordinator for research activities in the institute. And we have Professor Trivikram, who is one of the senior faculty. He is also Professor of Economics, and he is head of publications, various journals published by IPE. And we have Professor Santosh Kumar Tiwari, newly joined faculty, Professor of Operations Management, and Professor Ramesh, KV Ramesh, Professor of Finance, and he is coordinator for MBPE program. And we have Professor Sunil, Professor of OR and QT, and is also warden in the boys hostel. And we have Professor Ananda Kundi, Professor of Management, is also heading some research projects at the institute. We have Professor Rakesh, he is also head of IT division, and is also taking care of AICT accreditation and other rankings, along with Professor Janaki Krishna. He is also warden in the boys hostel. Professor Kalyan Kumar, Professor of IT, and Rakesh is also Professor of IT, and Kalyan Kumar is also head of our SIP division. And we have Professor Chandrasekhar, Professor of Finance, and we have next Professor Sridhar Raj, Professor of Management, and he is also looking after Case Study Center. Professor Pawan Kumar, is Professor of Finance, he is also Joint Controller of Examinations. Yeah, we have some more faculty, Professor Usha Nuri, Professor of Economics, Professor Anant Kumar, Professor of QT War, and is also faculty in charge of library, and Professor Geeta, head of actually management and various research projects at the institute, and Mr. Pani, he is our finance and administrative officer. Both the roles he is doing great responsibilities. And we have some more faculty, our colleagues. Yeah, Professor Anil Kumar, he is sitting with us. He is adjunct faculty. He is basically a company secretary and Professor of Finance. We have Sri Nageshwara Garu. He is actually former general manager Andhra Bank. He is our adjunct faculty to the institute. And we also have our facilities manager Sujana here, Mr. Sudhir, who takes care of admissions, and Usman, and we have Ganesh, Radhakrishna Reddy accounts, Vaman Reddy administration, Jagan and Vikram. You can find, why I'm introducing all of them is IPE is like a family. You can feel free to contact anyone for any help. We have a system of mentoring in the institute where right from the day one, for all, for every 6 students, there will be a faculty attached. He or she will take care of the academic achievements, his projects, and extracurricular activities. So taken care by this mentor, and mentor will be in touch with the parents. So regular reports will be sent to the parents regarding the progress of the ward here. And you might have seen excellent infrastructure here. This is the administrative block, and we have 9-story building, hostel building with AC rooms with attached bathrooms, separate hostels for boys and girls, food court, and all these facilities. Now, besides all these things, only a word of advice to the students who are going to be part of the Institute of Public Enterprise is that, based on my experience at the Institute, I joined the Institute in 1994, January. And we, at the Institute, all the faculty are involved in 4 important activities. In addition to teaching, faculty are involved in training, research, and consultants. That's the reason IPE faculty is unique and well known across the country because of their varied experience. We have about 40 full-time faculty members, 20 adjunct faculty members. On a regular basis, we invite industry people to interact with the students. We have various other activities which will be discussed by my colleagues in their respective sessions, student activities, examinations. All activities will be explained to you. And here students are the important people. They have various clubs. They take part in various clubs. And our director is the most dynamic person who is well known across the globe. He is a professor of finance and public enterprise management. His research outputs are highly regarded by the central government and various governments, who moves very closely with faculty and students. So you can approach any faculty anytime, even without any appointment. So that is accessibility for the students here. Because of paucity of time, I will give one piece of advice to the students. In life, if you want to succeed, your attitude plays a major role. Attitude is the key to success. Attitude will decide your altitude. Now, what is that attitude you expect from the corporate, from all the fraternity in the teaching and industry? Your attitude should be built based upon certain positive, what we can say, qualities, and should be devoid of negative qualities. How can you actually enrich your attitude? Positive qualities like being cheerful, being happy, and always helping others, and also having regard to our own culture and values. We say, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. That should be the foundation. Wherever you go, you should respect mother, father, teacher, and the guest. That will actually build a personality in you, and you are accepted everywhere. Now we are talking about global Indian managers. Global Indian managers are different from any global manager because of the cultural background, ethical values, and all these things makes our own managers doing things differently, having concern for people. So have all these, having this again, hard work, sincerity, and discipline, these are all part of the positive qualities you should enrich so that your attitude becomes exemplary. And always avoid the negative qualities like jealousy, anger, right? Hurting others. So all these you remove, add as many positive qualities, and that becomes a foundation. And improve your communication skills. We have special modules by Talent Sprint on business communications, personality development. So you evolve yourself over a period of 2 years. You should succeed with a good placement, and we are here to support in every possible way. So we look forward for a very close and constructive way of working together to bring IPE to next greater heights. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, sir, for elaborating the functioning of the IPE and also for introducing the faculty briefly.
He did not expect respect from what has been done by his ancestors, rather preferred achievements, results to define him. He came to work without leaving his heart at home and made his aspirations greater than his resources. His leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It is more about one life influencing another. Our director, Professor R.K. Mishra, is one such a life who always has got connected and touched the lives of people who ever worked or got associated with IPE. It is a privilege to be associated with him and to learn from him. Humility in success and courage in failure are the hallmark of this good leader.
Professor R.K. Mishra has studied, researched, and taught at the University of Rajasthan, London Business School, SDA Bocconi, University of Bradford, and International Center for Promotion of Enterprises. He is a visiting professor at Mesa de Sciences de la Homs, Faculty of Economics, University of Ljubljana, and UITM Malaysia. He handled assignments from UNDESA, OECD, ADB, Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, Commonwealth Secretariat, various ministries of Government of India, state governments, and public enterprises. He has guided umpteen number of doctoral research scholars and taught at the MBA programs in several universities in India and abroad. His areas of interest include corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, enterprise management, and public policy.
We invite Professor R.K. Mishra, Director IPE, to deliver the inaugural address. Please welcome him with a great round of applause, please. I request Vagdevi to welcome him with a bouquet.
Thank you, Dr. Shaheen, Dr. Pratna. We have very important colleagues here. I can't speak out all the names, but I must say here Dr. S. Srinivas Murthy Garu. We have Mr. Mantha here, former CMD of BDL, our senior colleague. We have Professor Menon, our senior most colleague, Professor Anjiraju, Professor M.N. Rao, and all the course in charges. But let me tell you very frankly, today, if at all I have to place two names above all the names, one is Dr. Sai Shelja. I request her to just stand up. and the other person, we would not have been sitting here. But you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And that person is our FAO, Mr. Funny. I request him to stand up. Okay, friends, let me start. How many of you have seen Three Idiots? The film Three Idiots. So there you must have observed the role of principal and Amir Khan as a student. Here we don't have that kind of principal, I can assure you. But let me assure all of you that we will like to have students like Amir Khan of Three Idiots. And let me give you a mantra, because when you become old, you can't give anything, you can only share your experience and mantra. And that mantra is imagination and inquisitiveness. If you see our body, in body, mind is at the top. So the most important thing that all you and we have to do, and we have to do much more because you are in the portals of such an eminent institution. You have to think much more. And in our country, what we require is not working managers. In our country, we require thinking managers, thinking leaders. We don't want leaders who take us to astray. We want leaders who can guide the country to higher and higher altitudes and destinations. Stay on with you. Now you may ask me, what do we do at IPE in these courses? And that's very, very important because you must know substance. Once you know the goal and object, then like Arjuna, you can hit the object, but you must know. And then you must concentrate. And the object of our course is that we acquaint you with entire digital kind of education. Because in next 5 years, it is going to be a digital world. So please note that, whether I tell you or not, my colleagues tell you or not, but you have to know where the world is going. You must swim with the current. And the times to come is the time when everything will get digitized. And hence I think when you come here, then think of digital education. The second thing, then all of you have to think, and where you can be distinct and different. You must understand one thing, in life, if you have to grow, you must have a USP, unique selling proposition. Let me tell you that when you come to this planet Earth, God has sent you to the planet Earth, God has certainly given you some qualities where you are different from others. So my request to all of you would be that try to understand where you are different and how you can hone that quality so that people can say, if this is there, then this person should be remembered. Please try to ask yourself. Try to ask people, what do they see unto you? And then you'll know that you have some unique selling proposition. So that's the second important thing. And for that, what we do here, we'll expose you all to experiential learning, where you don't only talk, you don't only hear a lecture in the classroom, but we'll take you to the industry. We'll bring industry people. Right? I think here we have Mr. Manthar, who has been CMD of one of the largest defense enterprises. And when he was in US, he has shaken hand. If Mr. Trump has been now talking well, and Mr. Trump now I think is little more serious in his speech, it is because Mr. Manthar was there for about 1.5 months. I think you have come yesterday or today. So Mr. Manthar was the CMD of BDL, and you have known, I think, our missile technology. India can reach any part of the world, and he is the person with the top-notch defense scientists like Kasturi Rangan and others. He has worked with them. So experiential learning is very important. I think you know the story of Ganesh ji and Shiva. He organized a big race and all kinds of gods came. Every everyone is running very, very fast, but Ganesh was not running. Ganesh was just standing there. And then when people ask Ganesh, how come that everyone is trying to grab the prize by running faster and faster, you are just standing here, you are not moving an inch. And the Ganesh told that, no, I'll be the person who will win the prize. And what did he do? He took 7 rounds of Shiva. And ultimately the person who was declared winner, like Milo of France, who got 4 golds in race, 100 meters, 400 meters, 200 meters, he got 4 gold medals. So what is more important for you is that besides going to classroom, can you just listen to a person from industry? We get number of people, but getting number of people is not enough. When we get number of people, you should also have the inquisitiveness to know, to ask them, to listen to them, to note down what they say, to try to understand why they have been saying like that. But certainly my colleagues will organize, I think, number of tours for you, for industry, and you must grab the opportunities of spending time. And like Ganesh, who took 7 rounds, I personally believe if you go 7 times round an industry, you are a good MBA. We want to produce those MBAs who are practice oriented, not who are MAs and BAs. MBA is different. It's neither an MBA, nor an MA, or nor a BA. So experiential learning, I think, is very, very important. Third thing which is very important that we want to come out from you is that you should not only concentrate on share value or value, shareholders' value. Because in our education today, we are talking of sustained management, or we say management which continues all the times to come. As this earth is there, this sky is there, this air is there, this water is there, any enterprise must have a life like that, billions of years, hundreds of years. That is possible only when you are in sync with the society, with people around you who are rich, who may be poor, who may speak, who may not speak, who may know English, may not English, may have good clothes, may not have good clothes, may have food to eat, may not have food to eat, but they all are brothers and sisters. And therefore I think you and I, who are studying management, it is our solemn duty, I should say, that we must enrich not only our lives, but also the lives of people who are around us, lives of the people who are our countrymen. And I'll say, Indians have always believed in one world. We have been beyond country. We don't think of India. Sarve bhavanti sukhne. We think of entire world, is our thing. The fourth thing, how do you do that? This is a very important question. How do we do that? And I'm reminded of a poem from Longfellow. You must have heard Longfellow was a great poet. And Longfellow, in one of his poems, Longfellow says, when others are sleeping, when others are asleep, there are people who are working very hard. They are awake. That same thing has been told in Gita also. That when others sleep, people work, they never sleep. That's, I think, is the thing. How can you snatch time? Time is the most precious thing. You can create any wealth. You can be anything, but you can't create time. Now, given that, how do you use time? Do you use your time in finding out mistakes? Do you use time in finding out weaknesses? Do you find your time in criticizing others? Do you find your time in whiling away? Do you find your time in gossiping only all the time? Do you find your time only to sleep? Do you find your time in overstaying at canteen? Do you find your time in gossips? Now this is very, very important. You must know how you have to use your time. If you don't know how you have to use your time, then you are producing illiterates. You may have a PGDM degree from a good institute, but you will be an illiterate. And you will not be a hope for your family, for your state, for this country, and for the world. You will be a burden, I think, you will be a burden on the world. And therefore, I think you should all understand that we have to inculcate the value of hard work. Now, you can ask something about qualifications, I think. Somebody asked me, sir, you are director of the institute. What is your qualification? This morning. And I told that director is the least qualified person in the institute. Because if you are not, practically you are good for nothing, and you can't do anything, you become director. But anyone who can do anything is not a director. They all are my colleagues here. All these colleagues have been abroad. All these colleagues have worked in industry. All these colleagues have published. And all these colleagues decided not to go anywhere to mint money. They decided to remain in industry and create a future for the country. Therefore, I would ask all of you to take teachers very, very seriously. They are not a butt of joke, one. Number two, you just can't sleep in the class and don't take your notes. Second. Third, you can't abstain from classes. This is not a big thing. You can't get a championship by sleeping in the hostel room, by coming late. Mr. N.T. Ramarao was one of our chief ministers. And when N.T. Ramarao became chief minister because he came from the Fin world, when he was entering secretariat, he saw somebody coming at 12 noon. Then he asked him, are you coming late? Then he told, sir, I come late and go early. We don't want that kind of student who come late and they go early. If you can't come 1 minute before teacher and if you can't go 5 minutes after teacher, you are not a good student. You may have paid any fees, which is nothing, I'll come to that. But mind it, and you should all know that you are just a student here. You have come to study here. You have come to achieve things. You have come to achieve your goal. You have come to train your mind and body. You have come to acquire many new skills. You have come here to see how people in the world have gone up and how you can also rise, I think, very fast in life. We need such students. We don't need students who do not keep the goal of life, at least for 2 years, at the center of everything. Now you can ask me, how do we do that? And I can give you only one talisman, like Mahatma Gandhi. And that one talisman is that ask before you sleep in your room or at your home anywhere. Ask only one question, what did I do today? Did I get up in the right time? Did I do some exercise? Did I go for a walk? Did I eat well? Did I do some exercise? Did I read? Did I complete my work? Did I take notes? Did I meet my colleagues? Did I hear guest speakers well? Did I read a book? Did I go to library? Did I see something on TV? You know, where group discussion is there on Brexit, or group discussions are there on American policies, you know, on Asia, or group discussions are there on GST, most current thing. Did I read today Financial Times? Did I read Economic Times? Did I read Business Standard? I am giving you something very, very important. Because in life, subjects are not only the thing. You must know well, if you want good placements will come only out of good hard work. If you don't work hard for placements, it will be difficult for you to get good placements. And for getting your goal achieved, you don't require to do only hard work, but you also require to plan and you also require to have a strategy. You must develop a strategy and allocate your time as to how you are going to parcel out your time in different quadrants so that all that seems to be so difficult can be easily achieved. And let me tell you, if you get up in the morning at 4 a.m. and before you come down out of your bed, can you think for 5 minutes what is that you want to do on that day? This is known as the process of visualization. Can you visualize what I am going to do today? If you don't plan, then what will happen is that you will get up like a person who doesn't know where to go. And since you don't know where to go, you can go anywhere. And that doesn't take you to the objective for which you have come to this Institute of Public Enterprise. So this is very, very important. Now, let me tell you, if you do not do these things, then what happens? This is very important. If you do not do these things, then you will run the risk of becoming, instead of good to better and better to best, you will become less than good. You have come with some achievements, but let me tell you very frankly, if all of you are hearing me, this is very, very important. If you do not do a planned work, then instead of being good to better and better to best, you will become less than good. Having come to IPE, IPE doesn't provide you a golden passport that you take it, go anywhere. People like to see who is the person whose photograph is there. Whether it is a photograph of a wise person, a person with ambition, a person with qualification, a person with skills, a person who can do a startup, a person who can do some entrepreneurship, a person who has the will to work anywhere in India for placements, a person who wants to go beyond the frontiers of our country, a person who is innovative, a person who is creative, a person who makes friends, a person who doesn't believe in rancor, a person who doesn't believe in, always, with big head down, a person who always raises his head and who looks up. Now this is very important. IPE doesn't give you a golden passport, please note this. But with your efforts, the passport that we give you can become a diamond passport. And please hear me very carefully. How do you see this shine on diamond? You see this shine on diamond by polishing, and that polishing is your hard work. I want to tell you that what has brought you here in the institute today, you have your qualifications, you have an ambition, your parents are with you. What has brought you here today will not take you there, the other goal in life. You have come here, but if you want to go there, then you have to chart out your own way. You have to discipline your mind and action. You just can't be seduced. You just can't follow meekly anything. You can't be trapped. You must be an informed person who doesn't create indiscipline in the institute, who doesn't destroy the property of the institute, who doesn't take people for right, doesn't create obstruct the classroom teaching, who is disciplined, and if anybody looks at him or her, they feel that yes, they have met today a very young girl or very young boy who has lot of shine and promise on his or her face. This is not a political institution or Parliament of India or State Assembly where we make demands. This is an institute where we do research, training, consulting. We are connected to all parts of the world. As my colleagues have told, we have 3,000 IS officers. All cabinet secretaries and secretaries have gone through this institute. We have 40,000 managers. We have trained about 500 CEOs. Yesterday, I was somewhere where we had Shibulal, where we had Mr. Murthy, where we had Chris Gopal Krishna, where we had Ratan Tata there yesterday, where we had few ministers of the government of India. We had many chief ministers there. We are an institute which links people. And the linking of with people is through your knowledge, through your action, through your abilities, through the kind of attributes you have cultivated within 2 years at the stay of the institute. Friends, you are sitting at a place, the value of which is thousands of crores. Not to go too far, you have a library now. In library, we have invested about 50 crores. You can go to 5,000 journals. You can read any lecture anyone who is given through MOOCs. All lectures of the best teachers of the world, they are available here because we believe now in digital training. We believe in IT. We have a very good IT infrastructure at the institute. We have our case studies over here. All my colleagues, they have done that. We have 500 journals here. I don't want you to, you to tell people in placement you have not heard of Harvard Business Review. You have not heard of MIT Sloan Review. You have not read this article or that paper, because all of them are here. But you can understand, if you want to read anything, you have to decide what you will not do so that you can read and concentrate. But life is a very complex kind of thing. You have to make decisions. As we teach you decision systems, in personal life, you have to make each moment a decision. When you are hearing me, that means you are not going out, you are not seeing a film, you are not on the playground, you have sacrificed all options, and therefore you are here in this hall. And therefore, you must then decide when you are at the institute that entire wealth is there. Wealth is not only money, dollars, rupees, pounds. Wealth is knowledge. Wealth is idea. Wealth is innovation. Wealth is the wish to go ahead. This is all wealth. Unluckily, what happens is that we are trapped, I think, of the idea that greenbacks or pounds or rupee, they are more important. No. What is more important is you and me. And I was happy that at the beginning of today's function, somebody had blown the shankha. Shankha means, blowing shankha, shankhnad means now from today your fight in life has started. You all are our students and these are all Dronacharya. And and what is the fight on? The fight is against lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, lack of skills, lack of determination, laziness, wastage of time, poverty, knowing everything, know everything around, but not stretching your hands. This is all, I think, from today that has started. And in life, I think all of you should keep one mantra in mind, and that mantra is, nobody will tell you anything. People can help you up to some point. Parents can help you up to some point. Teachers can help you up to some point. But ultimately, you have to help yourself. And therefore, what we say in Amar Kosh, there is a very good mantra. And we say, Atma Deepo Bhava. You have to be your own guide. Like these lamps are there, these lamps, they can light only, I think, some parts of this big auditorium. But if you light the lamp of mind, it goes beyond, I think, the four walls of this auditorium and any thing in the world. Therefore, I urge on all of you, become responsible students. I don't say that you should not play. I don't say that you should not hear music. I don't say that you do all those things. But keep the central purpose of your coming to this institute. Keep that. And keep line and length like a cricket player when he hits a shot, I think. Like a cricket player, like Dhawan, I should say, you should see how to hit ball hard and which ball you should play and which ball you should not play. There are many options. People will come, please do this, do that. You should know where you have to hit, take the bat, and how you can see that problems they are out. So you should become a good bowler also. On that note, somebody also asked me, sir, you are a government institute. Everybody on the board is from the government. Mr. Madhara is the former Chief Secretary of the composite state of Andhra Pradesh, was the topper of IAS, and has earned great prestige and name. Professor Ramarao, Mr. Kalam worked under Mr. Ramarao, and Mr. Kalam was the missile man, and much of this materials training came from Dr. Ramarao, who is a Padma Vibhushan. Mr. Pai is the man of startups. He is again a Padma Shri. We have the ONGC chairman, We have NMDC chairman. We have 2 secretaries of Government of India, 2 secretaries of the state government. We have private sector enterprises on the board. But what happens is that IPE has cut loose its connection with the government. We are government, but we function like an enterprise, an institute which doesn't depend on the government, which leads the government through our own efforts. That's how all my colleagues, they've been working and they've been doing. So I'll just take 1 more minute. And the thing is that we have some structured work 10 to 5. This is structured. But do unstructured work also. We have different clubs. You have many skills in life. You must have some good hobbies like music, book reading, like, interest in games, like publishing, reading, writing, helping poor people, orphanages. We call zakat kind of thing, Please take up 1 or 2 activities in life so that you don't feel after some time a person who is lost out only in the humdrum of activities. No, do 1 or 2 other things also. And IPE is the place where you have enough opportunities to pick up any activity. IPE is a place where we want you to become not only managers, but we want you to become leaders. I always say jocularly, IPE is a place where we don't want damagers, but we want managers. So please become managers, but managers is something like man and animals. From animal you have become man, therefore you are a manager. But if you want to become from man to God, then you have to become a leader. A leader is one who doesn't ask for things, a leader is one who creates. Don't become a beggar in life. Don't become beggar, give me this, give me that, can I get more? Then you are a beggar. You are a literate beggar. Don't become a literate beggar, become a creator. And that creator you can become when you apply your mind with an objective, you think and you are sold. You are sold to that, objective of life. I take this opportunity of thanking all the parents here and all those who have come for admissions here. And I also thank all my colleagues and the 2 colleagues who are campaigning here. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your speech has been truly inspiring and motivating. We request Ms. J. Kirunmai, Registrar, Institute of Public Enterprise, and Mr. Fani, Finance and Administrative Officer, Institute of Public Enterprise, to address the gathering.
Professor J. Kirunmai is Registrar, Coordinator PGDM BIF, Head of the Center of Corporate Governance in the Institute. She is an MCom specializing with banking and financial services, MPhil in management. She has undertaken many research and consultancy assignments for various state and central governments, public sector enterprises, AICTE, UGC at the Institute in the areas of corporate governance, reform and restructuring, public enterprise management. She has attended a leadership program in Slovenia, and she has organized customized and open training programs for board level executives of CPSCs on corporate governance, CSR and reservation policy. She is the editor of a UGC listed journal, which is IPE Journal of Management. Her areas of interest include corporate governance, accounting and CSR.
Mr. M. Fani, Finance and Administrative Officer at IPE, is a graduate in Commerce from Badruka College and completed his ICWA Inter. Prior to IPE, he worked with the Administrative Staff College of India as Finance Officer for 39 years.
Thank you, Shaheen and Prarthana. A very good morning to everyone here. So it's a great privilege today that we are inaugurating the PGP programs, and according to all of us, IPE family, we think this is a one of the memorable days that we are going to relish throughout our careers. On this note, I also thank my director and the dean who have approved us, facilitated, and given lot of support to see that all these arrangements are done for everyone over here. I will not talk more about IPE as such, but I'll just say few words about IPE, and we will talk more about the administrative support that we are going to extend for the next 2 years to all the students who are going to be with us. IPE actually has launched the PGP programs in 1995 with its first PGP program, that is the PG Diploma, to provide future leaders and managers. And the institute over a period of time tried to develop so many programs because the industry was requiring them, and we introduced programs such as retail marketing, banking, insurance and financial services, international business, HRM and executive programs. We have moved to this Shamirpet campus in the year 2014. And this is a LEED Griha certified campus with 5-star rating, which is called as an integrated habitat assessment rating by the Ministry of Renewable Energy by the Government of India. And we request all the students to please maintain the standards of the LEED Griha, because all this has to be maintained in case we are going for an accreditation for the current year also. So we seek all your support in energy conservation, in keeping the campus neat, maintaining it as a green campus. So your cooperation is needed in this regard. I have 2 roles to play at the institute. One is being a registrar who is looking after the administrative support, as well as a coordinator, banking, insurance and finance. So I will just take and introduce my team here. We have a senior colleague, Mr. Fani Garu. He is the head of our administration, and I think sir is going to make a brief presentation for all of you over here to maintain our standards in terms to get our certifications renewed. Further, we also have a lot of facilities for our students here on campus. We have got sports facilities, we have got professional gym. We have also a team of people who are helping us to maintain a football court. We have got certain other important things to notify, like we have got a table tennis court for all of you. We also have our team extending support to maintain the facilities. We have Miss Sujana over here, who is a facilities manager, along with our team, Mr. Ganesh. We have Mr. Reddy, who is looking after the facilities in terms of the food and other facilities, transport. So parents whosoever are here, you can take the leads and the numbers of the concern so that you can always stay in touch with us for any kind of an administrative support. And I request Mr. Fani to brief you more about the certifications and also the facilities that we are going to extend in terms of maintaining the campus.
Good morning to all of you, and a very hearty welcome to the parents, students. The campus looks very vibrant today, and I'm very happy to see the large crowds here, and I heartily welcome all of you on behalf of IPE. As Kiran Madam said, this is a Griha rated 5-star campus. So we'll be requesting all our students who are very much part of IPE family from now on, and as Mishra Saab was saying, they will be the leaders and they will take care of this campus, and we are here as only facilitators, and we'll see that every facility is provided to you that will be congenial for you to pursue your studies and be real leaders when you go out. So there are, actually this is an auditorium, and we have made a makeshift arrangement here, and when we complete the auditorium, it will look like this. So this auditorium has 450 seat capacity, and it will be looking this beautiful, but still we tried our best to make it as comfortable as possible for you all to sit here and do this function. So as she was saying, we need to conserve water, electricity. Needless to say, these are very important, not only in our houses but everywhere. Wherever we go, we have to see that we use power and water very judiciously. So some of the facilities I'll be telling, mostly whatever facilities we have created here, or I'll first concentrate on the hostels. So in the hostels, the electrical power will be available from 4:30 to 9:30 and 12:30 to 2 p.m. The idea is when they are in classes, we don't have to run power there, because some students may forget to switch off certain appliances and it can cause some damage. So we switch off so when you go to freshen up in the lunch time around 12:30, from 12:30 to 2 p.m. we see that the power is available to you, and when you go to hostel at 4:30 and till next day morning 9:30, you will have power. And the hot water for the hostel students is available from 7 to 8:30 in the morning and 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on all working days. And on weekends and holidays, because you tend to get up late, it will be from 7:30 a.m. to 9 and 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 in the evening. And we have this AC, our accommodation is all AC accommodation. So because this is a industrial policy, during up to 9:30 it is a peak time for industries to consume the power. So we'll start our ACs from 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning, so that you will be comfortable. And on all weekends, we ensure that the power is, AC is also available from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then about the lifts in the hostel, we operate the lifts from 4:30 p.m. That is when you go to hostel after your studies. And till 9:30 a.m. in the morning, the lifts will be operating, and 2 lifts will be operating to address the rush. And only 1 lift will be available from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. just in case you need to visit your room. Now, the most important aspect is we don't allow, or we don't want our students to waste their time in washing clothes and ironing individually. So we are going to set up a laundry which has fully automated washing machines, top load, and it will be run professionally by the launderers. We try to bring down the prices of this laundry facility by heavily subsidizing the rate from IPE, by means of contributing water and electricity that is required. We don't charge you anything, but we request all the students not to wash the clothes. See, some of these conditions, some of these requests are keeping in view the entire student community staying in the hostel. Okay, so washing clothes and drying them in the rooms is not very decent thing, and it will also will not be good for the, it will give order in the rooms because you are sharing rooms with others. So please avoid it. So the laundry charges are, it is 150 rupees per cycle, which includes washing, drying, and also ironing the clothes. But because some students may tend to avoid these charges, we have heavily bargained with the launderer, and now we have brought it down to 100 rupees, provided you take, there are 2 coupons available for you, which are annual subscriptions. One comes with 1500 for 15 washes, which is 100 rupees per wash. Each wash will have 4 to 5 kg of load. Normally this is charged at 300 rupees, more than 300 rupees outside, but it is coming to you at 100 rupees, and you don't have to waste your time on washing clothes and doing all those things. We want you to be as comfortable in our hostel as you are in your house. So the next coupon is for 2000 rupees, you get 25 washes. That means just 80 rupees. Imagine in 80 rupees, you are getting your clothes washed and also pressed by a professional. So IPE will facilitate this, but this facility is fully outsourced. Even though we don't take any responsibility, we will definitely facilitate this, and I request all of you hostel students and the parents here to avail of this facility, so that we'll monitor the facility from administration. And the food court timings, actually these are all displayed in the various places, but I am just reading out for you. The breakfast is available from 7:30 to 9 on all working days, but on weekends, holidays, it is available from 8 to 9:30. And lunch is available from 12:30 to 2 on working days, and 1 to 2 on Saturdays, Sundays and holidays. We serve snacks in the evening. It is from 5 to 5:45 all days, and dinner is from 7:30 to 9 p.m. We also provide lunch facilities to day scholars on payment basis. So you have to directly pay there and avail the lunch facilities. About the hostel students taking permission to go out and again come back to the campus, I request the students, we have made best professional caterer. We have arranged a professional caterer who will take care of, who will supply very good food in very hygienic conditions and with acceptable taste. And we request all the students to avoid eating outside the campus, because it's not good to go out and eat, and not a very good eatery available anywhere in the surroundings. So try to avail the facilities we have provided here, and please cooperate with us. If there are any shortcomings or there are any improvements that come to your mind, please feel free, so that we'll take care of those things to the best of our abilities and depending on the feasibility. So I wish all the students very best.
Thank you, Fanigaru. We are available on campus every day. If you wish, parents are supposed to meet us in case of any queries. You can meet Mr. Fani or me, so you can share your thoughts on the facilities. Thank you.
Let me take the privilege of introducing Dr. Satish NG, who has just joined now. He is the Member Knowledge Resource Center, and his areas of interest are in technology management. Welcome, sir. Uh, Thank you so much, Kiranmai, for briefly elucidating the do's and don'ts at the Institute. Thank you very much, Fani sir, for lucidly presenting the hostel rules and regulations.
Now it's time to understand about the PGP courses that we have. In the year 1995, with a track record and recognition received for its contribution towards management training, IPE started its first PGDM program. Keeping in view the emerging opportunities and to cater to the industry requirements, IPE added new courses like PGDM RM, PGDM BIF, PGDM HRM, PGDM IB, and the Executive PGDM. All the IPE courses are AICTE recognized and approved. Owing to its accomplishments and the expertise in academia, research, management training, and consultancy, in the year 2014, IPE received South Asian Quality System Accreditation, which is a recognition for quality and standards of B schools and management institutions across all countries in South Asia. Now let me introduce you to the legends of IPE, which is our coordinators, our backbones of the courses. I would take the opportunity to first introduce Professor Menon. Professor Narendranath Menon is a faculty at various colleges and has nearly 4 decades of experience. He has earned a doctorate in management for a study on quality circles in BHEL. He served Osmania University for 26 years before joining IPE. He has facilitated training sessions in several organizations, both private and public. Over the years, he has conducted several business quiz competitions at school, collegiate, and company levels. And he is desperately waiting to see girls from IPE winning the Tata Crucible and other prestigious quizzes. We invite Professor Menon to address the gathering.